this is an exclusive look at Act 3 of Hydrophobia, and this is the flow combat. You can see here that the player can choose how they want to approach taking on this Malthusian at the end of the corridor. You can come in stealthy, or in this case, you can go in guns blazing. And you can actually use the aim assist there to blow up that gas canister, which wiped that guy out. Now, depending on the player's actions, you're going to let different amounts of water into the environment. So in this case, the guy's got back up here, so we've got to find another way to deal with him. So if we charge up Kate's sonic rounds, can actually stun him, and when he's under the water, he'll drown because he's stunned unconscious. And now we can collect some ammo off his body. There's lots of different ammo types in the game. This is the first appearance, the first showing of the energy rounds. This particular type of ammo will actually stick to objects and characters and electrify the surroundings, electrocute the water. You can see here that the player is able to actually let in as much water as they like. You can shoot out windows and shoot out breaches in the walls, which will wipe out enemies. But that changes the environment. It changes the amount of water in the game. So now you have to you have to respond to that. You have to deal with all that water. In this particular case, the player's choosing to let the water in because they want to switch to underwater combat. So seamlessly, the gameplay switches to underwater combat, and this is almost like bullet time beneath the waves. And that's just purely a player choice. They could have not let too much water in and just gone about it a different way. So you see, you can still use your gun on the surface, and you can use it under the water. And you might have seen the red cursor that comes up. That's kind of a target assist as well, because while oil barrels and things are floating around the environments, you might want to take an opportunistic kill. So the aim assist just helps you to do that. So the water obviously flows from one area to another and affects the next area. So in this particular case, we can see ahead there's some electric cables here that are electrocuting this section of the water that's poured through from the previous room. So just a simple puzzle, just got to shoot the cables to cut them down and stop the water down there being electrocuted. The electricity has got a limited radius to it, so as long as you don't get too close, you won't get killed. So now the players cut those cables down and solve that puzzle, which was introduced because they let water in the previous area. So it's a different experience every time. It's a completely dynamic game. So we're going to move through into some more flow combat here. Again, the player can choose their approach. So there's a couple of guys perhaps lurking ahead. We see we've got an oil barrel next to a window here. We know that if we blow up that oil barrel, it's going to break the window. The water will pour through, and the oil fire that's created will actually get carried with the water, carried on the surface of the water, and hopefully that oil fire will flow towards your enemy. But it's a physics simulation, so it can always turn against you. It's never the same twice. And we can see that because we've let all this water into the environment, underwater combat is what's necessary here. You can see the blood clouding there. When you shoot a character in Hydrophobia under the water, blood actually clouds out into the water and will get taken by the underwater currents dynamically as well. It's a nice little effect. And obviously, during underwater combat, you can also target the oil barrels that are floating around and use your aim assist that way. Yeah, so it's a very dynamic kind of, like I said, it's almost like bullet time beneath the waves. And you can actually stun the character, or you can switch to different ammunition types. So and we've actually taken this guy down now in a pool of blood. It's lucky there's no sharks around. But there's different ammo types that you've got here. What we've collected at the moment, there's gel rounds, which will stick to any surface, any object, any character, and then can be detonated at the player's will, which is useful for sending objects floating downstream towards an enemy, or you can stick them to a character. And energy rounds are a version of that ammunition which actually emit electricity. So let's just see how the player deals with this next guy. So this guy hasn't quite noticed it yet. Maybe use that oil barrel. Yeah, so we see there we got a ×2 in the multiplier, so we actually took that guy out. The way the score system works in Hydrophobia is that if you combine together different environmental kills, then you get a much higher score. If you just stun a guy and drown him, you're not going to get as many points as if you chain together an oil barrel exploding, a window shattering, the guy getting set on fire, and then the guy dying. If you chain all those things together and you get a chain combination, then you get multipliers, and that gets uploaded to your global leaderboards and friends leaderboards. We've got weekly and monthly leaderboards at the end of each act in the game. There's 3 acts, and then also an extra leaderboard in the challenge room that's unlocked at the end of the game. So we've got this, we're playing on hard at the moment, so this is quite a hardcore way of playing the game. And this is the underwater combat. So before we go into the next room, we're going to change our ammo to the energy rounds here. And see if we can take these guys out. So, in hard mode, they do fire quite rapidly. Yeah. I'm going to move into the next section here, and before I go in, I can select the energy rounds, which are the sticky rounds, which also electrocute enemies. So let's see if I can take one of these guys out. We are playing on hard here, so you've got to dodge these bullets and try and fire off an energy round and electrocute him. Fortunately, we were just about out of range there. Let's try switching to stun and see if we can drown some of these guys. So I've got to get some air quickly before I drown myself. So come up for some air. And let's try and take a few more of these guys out. What I can also do is I can shoot the barrels in their general direction and then use the aim assist to blow them up. Yeah, it is set on hard.